Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily, here to talk to you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, what are we talking about this time? I don't think I gave the topic at the end of the last video. I might have, I might not have, I don't remember. Which, sometimes that's just a thing that happens around here. I forget stuff. But we are going to talk about something. We're going to talk about this gem right here. Let's turn it the right way. It's called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. We've already kind of talked about this already in an older video, like the 7th or 8th on the channel, called Manga Suggestions. I gave about a 4-minute review and moved on to another manga to check out. But this one is getting its own video because it's really good and I want to talk about it in a little more detail. Whew, that was a lot to say. So, if you haven't seen the manga review video, which is understandable, obviously, let's tell you what this is about a little bit. This is about the character named Rimuru. Rimuru is this person right here. And I forget what his name was, because the way the story starts, it starts off in our world, and with the salary man, he's like 35 years old. He's never had a relationship, never done anything like that. He's just worked ever since becoming an adult, and so he doesn't know really what to do with his life, but he gets invited out for a meal with one of his co-workers, who only invites him out really just to show off his new girlfriend, and due to some circumstances that happen, our main character gets stabbed. Totally shank shish kebab. That's what happens. So as our hero is dying in this world, he hears a voice, because he's talking about things he regrets in life, things he wishes he had done, like, I wish I had, hit on more girls, I don't mean to say that I would have been a predator, but I would have. And so he keeps getting, this voice saying, okay, acquired skill, predator, acquired skill, sage, great sage. And then he gets reborn into a fantasy world, not as, a heroic knight, or, an orc, or, anything big and powerful. He gets reborn as a tiny, inconsequential little slime. And, yep, whole thing. And so that's where our story starts. He's in a cave, he's a slime, he's just doing slime stuff. He can't see because slimes don't have eyes, so he's just basically wandering around, randomly absorbing and, eating things. And then he runs into a dragon named Velrona. Now, the dragon teaches him how to use magic sense in order to see, and the two form a kind of friendship. It turns out that the dragon is trapped in the cave due to a powerful spell that was placed on him that keeps him behind a barrier. The suggestion Rimuru has is to allow the dragon to be consumed by him so that the dragon will be free. Rimuru is not exactly sure how his predator skill actually works and believes that he can just digest Velrona for a little bit and then, once they're out of the cave, release him and it'll be fine. Velrona agrees, and he gives Rimuru the name Rimuru. Rimuru Tempest. And they share a last name, because Rimuru comes up with Tempest. The storm dragon Velrona comes up with Rimuru, and so that's how his name becomes Rimuru Tempest. So Rimuru travels around as a little slime after absorbing the dragon, and it turns out he's totally, absolutely absorbed the dragon and its power, and has become the most powerful creature in the Great Jura Forest. He doesn't know that, though. He just thinks of himself as a little slime, and he travels along, and that's kind of where our story goes. Is he keeps meeting monsters and creatures and all kinds of beings where they're like, oh, it's a slime. And then he proves himself to be, more than just the every average day slime, and they swear fealty to him. It's a neat concept. I really liked the idea of, the main character not being of any actual consequence to the story. But of course, main character status, you're eventually going to be important to the story, even if you're a slime. And a lot of neat things happen. He first meets a goblin village, and he becomes their lord, and then he meets some Oni and, becomes in charge of them, and so on and so forth. This particular volume is number 5. They just got finished fighting in an actual, war with the orcs, which was really fun and cool. I'm not going to tell you how that happened or why it's happening, because you should read this. You should totally check this out. It's really good. I really like Rimuru as a character. He's super laid back, and he really just kind of wants to live his life. He just keeps getting important titles and positions thrown on top of him that he doesn't mean to pick up. And part of that has to do with how powerful he actually is because of absorbing the Storm Dragon. In this world, monsters don't have names per se. They're just Goblin number 1 or Goblin number 2. But they don't actually have names. Having a name means you're more powerful, you're more important. And as it turns out, if a more powerful creature hands you a name, it increases your power in proportion to how strong they are. And so Rimuru, not understanding how that works at first, totally makes the Goblin Village really cool and neat and interesting. There's a... See if I can find his picture. He's in here somewhere. This is taking too long. But we're still going to do it. Here we go. This guy. He was just a little goblin. Now he's this big, buff dude. And he dotes on Rimuru. Everybody kind of dotes on the slime. And it's cute. He's got his own, pack of wolves. He's got some dwarves in his city that help him out. Yes, he made a city of monsters. It's really great. I love it. I'm trying to give you some reasons why you should read it, why I am enjoying it, without giving away the story, which is kind of hard. But more importantly, like I said, Rimuru doesn't want these titles. He doesn't want to be in charge of everybody. But even though he doesn't want to do that, he still does it because he thinks it's the right thing to do. So he's actually a pretty decent character, and that he's just trying to do it right, even if it goes against his wants and wishes. I've actually read ahead. I've read some of this online. As you can see, I'm still getting the books because, you should always support, the official release when you can. I can, so I am. If you can't, obviously, you have your reasons. Either you don't make enough money, or it's not important enough to you, and that's, those are all valid. But I would totally suggest checking this out, picking it up. It's only got 5 issues right now, with more coming out, more chapters are being released even as I'm speaking. Well, maybe not as I'm speaking, but it's a really good book, and I really enjoy it. My favorite character is actually this character right here, whose name kind of escapes me a little bit right now. He's this old, great samurai Oni sage thing, and he's really great. The way he basically teaches Rimuru how to use a sword, and he's got no mercy for any of his students, even if it is Rimuru, who he actually has sworn fealty to. It's great. It's just all these characters have such dynamic personalities that you don't confuse them for one or the other. Even if their designs are a little similar, it's because of how well written they are. Trying to find the right words. And yeah, that's it. That's why I'm suggesting to you that time I was reincarnated into a slime. I really just like the title a whole lot. I really actually like this genre a whole lot. There's an entire set of manga and anime where a main character dies in our world and is resurrected into a fantasy world. But they rarely are like this, where it's a simple monster. A book, I think, that actually does the simple monster thing a little better, just because Rimuru did get so powerful, so strong, so quickly. There's another one that came out. It's got 2 volumes out right now. It's called So I'm a Spider, So What? It's about a girl in a similar situation where she dies and then is resurrected as a tiny spider in a monster world, and she has to survive. And she doesn't get the benefit of befriending a storm dragon and getting its powers. So it's really interesting, and I like this genre. So check this one out. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the spider one some other time. And that's it. So what are we going to talk about next video? Next video, we're going to be doing the previews. That's right. I've already finished them. I've already finished ordering what I'm getting for the month of July. So, there are some good ones in here, so I can't wait to talk to you about those. And that's what we're doing next time. So, until then, enjoy comics, enjoy cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.